Hey, good morning, sports fans all around the world. This is Louis Diamond, and you are watching Bettor Center live from our Las Vegas handicapping studios. And it is college football Saturday, and I am joined with two fabulous handicappers, Dell Warfield and Tony Gulledge, and we together are going to provide you with some fantastic betting information going off here in about an hour and a half. So appreciate you joining us. Don't forget, if you're just seeing us for the first time, you need to or should click below and subscribe either on our Facebook page or our YouTube page, whichever one you're seeing us on right now, so you can get this information as soon as it comes to you live. You'll get the notification on the phone. Really appreciate that. So without further ado, I'd like to welcome a good morning to Dell Warfield and Tony Gulledge. How you guys doing today?
Hey, good morning, Lou.
Good morning.
Morning. All right, let's just get right down to the nitty gritty. Let's start with the first game on our schedule, and that is Florida State at Miami. Now, this game opens up at 10, and the steam has been on Miami of Florida, minus the 10 now, minus 11. There are still some 10.5s out there if you like Miami of Florida. There's definitely 11s out there for Florida State. Total 57.5. Got a lot of steam on that under. It's down, opens at 57.5, down to 53.5. And let's get right to it. Tony, what do you got? Miami of Florida, Florida State.
Miami, 2 wins, 2 covers. Florida State, disappointing home loss to Georgia Tech as a double-digit favorite. I'm going to back Florida State, take the 11 here. I just see the line value coming to Florida State based on the perception. The way Miami looked against Louisville, they moved the ball up and down the field. Florida State looked kind of ragged, turnovers. That's going to be a key to the game. They can't turn the ball over, but I see Florida State coming in, keeping this game close. You won't see Miami scoring 47 today. I like Florida State in the points here.
All right, Tony coming up with a bang with Florida State, the Seminoles. All right, Del, you got an opinion on this one, Florida State or Miami? What are you thinking?
So I'm actually going to be going opposite here. I actually like Miami in this matchup. I like the key numbers that's kind of gone with and against, up to 11 now over that 10 number. They got that X factor in their new quarterback in King. They've looked really good in their last 2 games. Florida State looks really bad in their last few games. I think this is going to come down more so not really to the quarterback play. Their running game is really good in Miami, really good defense. I see this as a potential under as well, but I like Miami here. I'm going to be rolling with Miami minus the 11.
All right, so you guys are leaving it on me to give you the rubber match. Dell's rolling with Miami. Tony looking at Florida State, and I have a pretty clear-cut play on this myself. I do believe Miami is the better ball club. It's the 2 poor games and the 2 good games are indicative of what these 2 teams are. So I am feeling some love for Derek King. I think he is, since the beginning of the season, we've been on him, and Tony dares to go and buck us right now, but I'm not bucking it yet. I think Miami is the play here, but Tony does have history on his side, as the underdog is 15-3, the road team 12-2, the Seminoles 6-1 in Miami, and the under has certainly been the history as well. 8 out of 9 under, 7-3-1 in Miami to the under. So the under seems to be logical. We'll see what happens today, but 2 of us on Miami, 1 on Florida State. Let's get over to the next game, which features the Louisville Cardinals, game number 2 on our schedule at the Pittsburgh Panthers. Pitt opens up about a 2.5 minus 20 favorite, and they're still pretty close to that. There are some 3s minus 105s out there. I'm seeing total 53, and Pitt up to 54.5. So, Dell, you got something on this game for us?
Yeah, so I actually love this game today, Louisville versus Pittsburgh. first I want to say these teams wouldn't even be ranked if we have all the other, teams actually inside, Pac-12, Big Ten, Big 12, or not Big 12, Big Ten, right? So if we actually had those teams, these teams wouldn't actually be ranked. So I figure once these teams actually come back, this wouldn't be a ranked game like it's showing as today. But as far as this game today, about 50% is kind of split on the action here. The line opened up at 2.5 up to 3 now, or 3.5 down to 3 for Louisville. With that line opening up at 3.5 to 3, the money line went from plus 150 down to plus 120. That's a really good sign for Louisville in this game. I like Louisville to win outright. Love Louisville today. I'm riding with the Cardinals.
Little money line doggy there, barking. All right. Dell's on the dog. Dell's a dog guy. How about you, Tony? You thinking a little dog
Here we
money
go.
here? Or?
I'm going the other way. I'm going to take the home team. Louisville, I just don't think their defense. I don't like their defense, and Pitt has a good defense. And for home games like this with a pretty tight number, not a big spread, I love a team with a great defense. I just hope Pittsburgh offense don't make the mistakes they were making in the last game. A great spot for Pitt in my eyes. I'm going to take the points and fade Louisville.
All right, another rubber match, and I know you're probably looking for me to give you the deciding factor. I don't have a deciding factor on this game. I do have a couple of notes, but no opinion for me. The Cardinals haven't been very successful versus the Panthers, as they are 1-6 the last 7 games. The Panthers have been a dead under team. Louisville has been a dead over team. So leaving that total away, Cardinals, really not a very strong team against the spread. 3-9 against the number on the road. So not much there for me in this game, so I'm going to have to pass on this one. 8-20 for the Panthers as a home favorite. So I think, you really got to feel a good little vibe. Both of you guys feel a vibe. I'll let the viewers decide which vibe they felt was better. So, all right, next game on the schedule, Alabama, the Crimson Tide. All right. And they are at Missouri. Opened up a 25-point favorite, but everybody's on the Crimson Tide today. It's up to 29. It's their opener. And if you know anything about sports gambling, Alabama is a covering machine in the opener. 11 out of the last 12. I believe they've won 13 straight, but 11 out of the last 12 covers. So let me ask you this. It's going to be 12 out of 13, Dell?
Let's see. Well, I don't really have an opinion on this game, but if I would definitely go Alabama here. Like you said, they got the history of covering. Their coaching, they're going to be more prepared for this season than a Missouri team would be. So I'm not going to be betting this game. I don't really like this game, but I would lean Alabama with you.
All right. Okay. Tony, you on the train here today?
This is not one of the games I have on my playlist, but I will note that you mentioned Alabama in those game openers. I'm going to assume that most of those openers were against, little sister of the poor as opposed to a conference game. I don't have it in front of me to say for sure. But, this number seems like it's getting to the point where I wouldn't want to touch it. Bama would seem like the clear side, but first game, neither of these teams have played. We really don't know what they're going to bring to the table. I do note that Missouri has a couple key injuries that probably are going to hamper their offense. So I'm staying away, but I kind of leaned with both you guys. Alabama seems like the logical play here today.
All right. I'm doing more than leaning, guys. I will ride this train here. I know the number's high for you right now, so I still believe there's still value in the number. I wouldn't say value in the long-term sense. I still believe that Alabama, the first time they didn't make the Final Four since the beginning, and Saban, he's had all season to think about that. I think Missouri pays the piper today, and Alabama romps and routes. So I think you can cash a ticket there with Alabama today. All right, next game on the schedule. We got game number 4. Texas is at Texas Tech. and a lot of movement on this game. Texas opens up a 14-point favorite, and now as high as 17.5. Total is 68.5, and as opens at 68.5. Now it's up to 71. So a lot of Texas and over money on the game. How do you see it, Tony?
Yeah, I really like this play. I'm going to back Texas. The key for me here is the amount of yards and poor defense at Texas Tech. That 576 yards passing to Houston Baptist, I can't ignore that. Sam Ellinger with this huge offensive line. I think Texas will dominate this game up front on both sides of the football. I see Texas Swiss cheesing this team. I think Texas is looking to put up in the 50 to 55 from Texas. So the cover should be there. If you're looking for the total, you're going to need a little something from Texas Tech. That's a big number. I would probably stay away from that total, but I love Texas here today.
All right. Big play from Tony on Texas. Dell, you got anything on the game? Anything to add on that one? Or are you going against them?
Yeah, I like the over here, but to kind of touch on what Tony said too, I do lean Texas too because, it crossed a lot of key numbers too, 14, 15, 16, now to 17.5. I definitely think Texas would be a good play as well. As you mentioned, the Swiss cheese of Texas Tech's defense. I like the over here. I think there's going to be a lot of points. I think they play with a lot of pace. I really like this over here at 71 now.
All right. Well, thank you, Dell. My thoughts on this game are not as confident as yours, but I do believe, obviously, there's a reason for the move and the reason why across those important numbers. But I think it could be possible that, you don't want to lay the big number now. You might be a little bit late on this one. And here's why. Texas Tech had a dozen players out last week. And now, that's a team that was due to COVID. So they really had a different ball club on the field against Houston Baptist, but it was Houston Baptist, and they still struggled. And now they have legal issues. When their running back was arrested Monday with another player as they were fleeing the scene of a drag racing incident. So now they have that turmoil within there. So Texas Tech could be a good fade the rest of the season. You're paying the price today, but Texas seems to be the only way. So those are my thoughts on the game. So that being said, we will move on to the game number 5 on our schedule, and that's when the Florida Gators will face the Ole Miss Rebels. And Florida opens up, I believe, a 10-point favorite. But they're up to 13.5. I'll double verify that. And then the total, 58.5. Dell, Florida, Mississippi. What do you got?
We're going Gators here. I love the Gators here from 12 to 13.5. Probably one of my favorite teams this year, actually, coming out the SEC. A lot of potential for them. Probably one of the better teams that they've had recently. I see them having no issues here with Mississippi today. I love the game. Love the 13.5. I'm going to be taking Florida today.
All right. Florida minus the 13.5 for Dell. The game did over 10.5. And we are seeing as high, well, it's a steady 14, which just hit right now recently. So the move, is it too much, too little, too late? What do you think, Tony?
Wow. I definitely would have to lean Florida. I did not make a play here. Lane Kiffin to me is, I couldn't back him. I'm always a Lane Kiffin denier. I don't think he's that good a coach, but he has worked his way back into the SEC. Give the guy props. He keeps getting these jobs. High-profile league. Unfortunately, he picked the wrong school to go coach at. Mississippi has been hurting of late. And against a strong Florida, the thing about Florida's defense is their speed. The linebackers are quick. Everybody's fast on this team. Good luck, Lane Kiffin. I didn't play it, but I could definitely make a case for Florida here.
All right. So, I think it's a little early to see what Kiffin can do with this. I'm not a huge Kiffin fan. And I don't think he's a money guy that you can always count on. He did it. He had a decent stint his last stint over
Florida
Florida
Atlantic.
Atlantic. Yeah. But he's just not that coach that I'm always going to back. How about you, Dell? You got anything? You're big on Florida here today, so you're going against Kiffin. So if I had to do something, I'd probably go against him right now too. I think he's got a mountain. He's got a big mountain to climb here. All right. So with that being said, let's take a quick little commercial break. I'll be back with the second half of our college football picks here on Bettor Center Live.
Brad Stein here live from Las Vegas. Join us daily for Bettor Center Live with our professional handicappers, where you get sports information you can bet on. Stop gambling, start winning. Bettor Center Live.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Quick little 10-set break. This is Louis Diamond. You're watching Bettor Center Live. I'm sitting with two fantastic handicappers, Dell Warfield from Warfield Elite on Facebook, so you can catch him over there. And then you have Tony Gulledge, the Great White Handicapper. You can find him at thegreatwhitehandicapper.com. And we are, I'm sorry? The Great White Capper. Damn, sorry, Tony. I'm glad you jumped in. I'm sorry about that. So thegreatwhitecapper.com. We want to make sure they get a hold of you. And we appreciate you being here and joining us and giving us some great information. So let's get that information going on to the next game. And that is something I believe you have a little action on here, Tony. Our game 6 on our schedule, Iowa State. And they are -3. They are at TCU, and the total, 43. Give it to us, Tony.
Well, TCU was initially going to play their first game September 11th against SMU. COVID-19 shut that game down, so now they'll make their initial appearance. They get to take on Iowa State, who got trashed at home. Louisiana Lafayette came in, got a 17-point win on the road as a double-digit underdog. I like TCU here for a couple reasons. One, the little bit of a revenge factor. They got trashed by Purdy in this offense last year. I think, Kevin, the Patterson coaching at home, maybe you have these numbers. I don't track these numbers quite. I just kind of go by what's in my head. Feel pretty good at TCU, and this spot is a good one for them. And I'm going to take them against right now a beleaguered Iowa State team. For me, TCU getting to finally play a game will inspire them to have a good effort at home today.
All right, looking for a little TCU. I don't know. I got one of those vibes that Purdy, may put something back together of such a bad game. I don't think they're that bad, but we're going to find out. So that makes me a little worried. How about you, Del? You got anything to add into this game?
I'm not really going to be taking a side, but I think kind of like Iowa State's first game, they were very unprepared. They have the double-digit favorites. They lost outright by double digits. So, I mean, kind of having your first game is not really an advantage in my eyes. I think it's more so you're going to be more prone to, making more mistakes, not being having that synergy with your receivers, and, your defense is going to be on point. So I'm not really going to be touching this game. I don't really like any side, but I think Iowa State's better than we saw them be in week 1. I think that they got a really good team. I'm not going to be touching this game, though. I don't like it.
Okay, a couple stats, a little history. The Cyclones, they actually fare well on the road, and 11-5-2 their last 18 road games. TCU does not fare as well at home. They are 7-22 against their last 29 home games. So historically speaking, this is a spot for Iowa State, but looking as dismal as they did last week, I'm worried about pulling the trigger. Tony's not worried about betting against them. All right, next game on the schedule, game number 7. All right, they seem to pop up on our schedule every week. The Black Knights of Army, now they, after some impressive wins, now face a real foe here with the Bearcats of Cincinnati. Game opens up at 10 again. Cincinnati moving all the way up to -12, and the total is 45. Dell, do you have anything to add to give us on this one?
Yes, Louis. So I absolutely love this game. I love it so much. I'm going to be saving it for our most interesting play. So stay tuned. The most interesting play will be having a pick on this game.
All right. Looking forward to that. All right. So how about you, Tony? You want to give us anything before Dell gives us his most interesting play on this?
Well, I went back and forth on this one. I ended up not making a play, but I did have a couple interesting notes. Army with the 2-0, straight up, easy, powerful wins. They controlled the clock. They ran the ball down both opponents' throat, easily won both games. Cincinnati with the 55-20 win off over Austin Peay. Really hard to gauge a team. I think Austin Peay's only going to play the 4 games, and they were getting trashed. The couple games they've played, they have not looked good. So it's not a very good opponent to gauge Cincinnati from. But what I did like from Cincinnati was they seemed to have speed on the outside, and that for an Army, any kind of military team is dangerous when you have an opponent with speed on the outside, because Army, obviously their cornerbacks aren't going to be athletically gifted like the wide receivers on some of these better teams. I think the edge here is to Cincinnati. That's just a big number for me to swallow, so I'm going to pass, but I definitely can see why people like Cincinnati in this spot.
All right. I'm going to be one of those guys that likes Cincinnati in this spot. I don't believe Army has met a team anywhere close to the talent of Cincinnati. I think Cincinnati's a great program that they're going to be that they're building on. And I think that this will be, they'll be challenged here today. I'm laying the points here with Cincinnati. So next game on the schedule, we are going to see the Blue Devils of Duke. And they are at the Cavaliers of Virginia. Virginia is -4.5. The total, 45.5. Always a low number in these Virginia games. Tony, what do you have on the Duke-Virginia game?
Well, I'll tell you, I'm going to take Duke here. I'm not sure if Virginia's prepared. Hate to talk politics and football, but Virginia is one of those states where they were just reluctant to play football. I don't know, man. Everything north of the Mason-Dixon line, even though Virginia is actually south of it, they've become they're too close to D.C., I think. So they're influenced by everything that goes on. I question whether they're even going to be ready to play. I'm going to be honest here. They canceled their game against Virginia Tech. I think Duke it didn't look great, but I tell you what, man, at least they're going to show up and play a game. Last week was a total train wreck, the turnovers against Boston College. I think you're going to see a much better Duke team today. If Duke doesn't turn the ball over like a sieve, then I think they can get the straight up win against Virginia here today.
Straight up winner. All right. Chicken dinner with the dice doggy barking. How about you, Dale? Dale, you got a dog there? See the dog barking?
I could definitely agree with Tony here. I think Duke's kind of underperformed, but they've had pretty good competition. Like Duke playing against Notre Dame. I mean, they had no shot in that game, right? So it's kind of hard to judge them off of that. But I mean, quarterback play is looking to be pretty good. I see this more so as an under, maybe. I don't really have an opinion on the side or the total, but I could definitely agree with Tony. I could definitely see Duke here, probably even winning this game outright.
Ooh, outright winner. All right. So Tony's really kind of heavy on Duke here, and Dell seems to agree. I'm going with the total on this one, guys. Got some good numbers for the total. 6 straight overs for Duke. 7 are for the Cavaliers. These Cavaliers, they put these numbers so low because they've been this defensive juggernaut. But the lines are very low, and they're too low, and the public just jumps and eats these unders up. Virginia, 26-1 tie over their last 27 games as a home favorite to the over. 23-9-1 their last 33 games as a favorite to the over. Duke, over city, almost no matter where you. The only spot is as a road underdog that they do not really prevail on the overs. So that word concerns me a little bit, but I think we got a nice over. 8-3-1 for Duke, their last 12 games overall to the over. So I see some nice play here on the over, 45.5. with Duke and Virginia. All right, next game on the schedule will be our last game before we get to the most interesting play of the day, and that is going to be NC State and Virginia Tech. And let's start with you, Dell. NC State, Virginia Tech.
Yeah, I got absolutely nothing. I can't even bullshit anything on this game. I'm sorry, Louis. I'm just going to completely pass. I hope you guys got something better than me.
Honestly, I don't have anything on that game either, so it must have been Tony that requested this game. So, Tony, if this is your most interesting play, let's use it. If not, let's get into this game and then right into the most interesting play. What do you got?
Yeah, this definitely isn't my most interesting play. I am going to back Virginia Tech here. For me, it's a situational. They haven't played since 2015. I'm trying to make the notes here on what I like the quarterback play from Virginia Tech. I think I put down Hooker to keep an eye out for this kid this year. I think from what I've been told I don't really have quote sources inside anything, but I do. Back east, I'm from North Carolina, so anything to do with the ACC, I do have people that hear a lot of information back and forth, and that's the word is the buzz is on this Virginia Tech kid, Hooker, as quarterback. NC State's got some issues and some internal issues that I don't even think the press covered a lot, but for me, this is a play. Virginia Tech -6.5 at home, their opening game. They're fired up, ready to play, as opposed to Virginia, who I don't think is fired up and ready to play. Virginia Tech is the word I'm getting. Look for Virginia Tech to have a big game today.
All right, nice. That's a little something to look for. I love when somebody gives you a little nugget on look at this guy, and then you see it, and then you start riding that train. The Wolfpack 1-8 their last 9 games as a road underdog, so that is going your way. 0-7 their last 7 road games, so maybe there is a little something there for Virginia Tech today. All right, now let's just get right down to it. Our most interesting game of the day, and Dell, you teased us with the Florida-Mississippi game. Lay it down, buddy. What do we got?
Yep. So also the Army versus Cincinnati.
Army-Cincinnati game. I'm sorry. Yes.
You're good. So for this game, about 67% of the bets are actually coming in on Army. 76% of the money. That line opened up at Cincinnati -10, up to Cincinnati -12 now. So the line's moving the opposite direction. There's about $100,000 bet on this game. 76% of that money. So about $76,000 bet on Army, 24,000 bet on Cincinnati. I think the sportsbooks are going to clean up today. I love the reverse alignment. I love Cincinnati here -12 as my most interesting play of the day.
Very nice. All right, Tony. So Dell gives us Cincinnati as a most interesting play. What do you got for us today for the most interesting play?
Let's keep the Queen City. There's 2 Queen Cities. Cincinnati's one. My hometown of Charlotte, North Carolina is the other. Let's keep the
Buffalo's
action.
1, 2. Pittsburgh's 1. Everybody's a Queen City. Go ahead.
Okay, but Cincinnati, we're going to take the Reds with Castillo. Reds just coming on strong. The pitching of Castillo, I think I've noted it on the air here more than once. Another great spot, fair price. No reason not to take it, guys. Cincinnati Castillo, get you a winner. I think we've given out plenty of great picks here on the show today. You can always check me out at thegreatwhitecapper.com. Tony Gulledge on Twitter, Tony Gulledge on Facebook. Not easy to miss me if you really want to find me. I want to thank you, Lou, for the show, the opportunity to give out some winners to all these great viewers. Love the participation. Love Dell. Love Chip. Love Ross. Thank you, Eugene, for all your hard work. Let's get some money and get some winners today. Feeling excited.
All right.
Let's cash some tickets,
Yes,
Lou.
sir.
Thanks.
All right. That gets me a nice vibe. I think we got some winners given to you today, and hopefully I'll close out by giving you the last most interesting play of the day, and that will be with the Hurricanes. You just got to ride them Hurricanes. I'm laying. I think laying the 11 should be no problem. I think you got a solid winner there. I don't believe Florida State is better than a 500 ball club, and I think Miami will have their way here today. So That'll be it for today. Please join us tomorrow, 7 a.m. Pacific time, we hope, for the NFL. Lots of teasers and parlays coming your way tomorrow. And don't forget to subscribe to us below on YouTube or Facebook so you can get our picks as soon as they happen. This is Louis Diamond. I appreciate you joining us here. You could have been watching a lot of shows out there, but you watched us. We really appreciate it. And we'll see you here again tomorrow on Bettor Center Live.